So if anybody know, anybody got the inside, the scoop, Red Bull, I'm willing to show.
Hopefully they see this podcast and it all happens because
I
that, I
think
mean,
if I say it everywhere I go, eventually somebody will hear it.
mhm. So from your mouth to the Red Bull executive's ears. That's what I was trying to
Hmm?
say. So
It's on brand. Watermelon's the best flavor. It's
it's
got
red.
the red. Like, let's go. It was made for me. You know what I mean?
I like that. I gotta try the blueberry, see if I fall in line.
The blueberry's good too. I rock with that one. That one's good also.
All right, man. So thank you for making the time. Your trip because like I sent you the link yesterday, right?
Yep. Last night.
Exactly. So when I sent you the link, I wasn't expecting it for today. So I just went into editing mode and I turned off my emails and I didn't even check. So it was just this morning when I was like, oh, I got a podcast
Oh,
with Brandon. So I was like, let's go.
oh yeah, dude. If you ask me to be on your show, as
Be
soon as
ready.
I can be on the show, I'm gonna be on the show. Cause I like. I mean, if I don't, you may never get me. Like, cause the second I start moving on and thinking about other stuff, my brain just like forgets that I ever even said I would do it. So like last night, I was like, send me the link, and then I was like, oh, he's good tomorrow. Bet, let's do it.
Awesome, man. Well, that's funny because Doc did the same thing to me. You understand? I was like, here's the link. And it's like, before I even checked my email, I already had a scheduled appointment. So once again, thank you for making the time. Now, as far as the podcast goes, this is just a way that I like to get to know people that I've already highlighted on my live stream for the segment called CITYSGAW, which is channels that I think you should go and watch. So now this is just my way of like, if we were to have met, right, at a, like at a coffee shop or something, and we were meeting for the first time, that's what I
Yeah,
want to get to know more about you. So
yeah,
there
bet.
we
I'm
go.
down.
Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, man, first and foremost, Christian follower of God. Lord is a the Lord has blessed me in many ways, so all glory to Him first and foremost. I'm a husband. I'm a father, two boys, and I am a creative at heart who is every day just trying to figure out how to wake up the next morning and create again. So literally that's what I love to do. I feel like as a creative I've just changed. Like at first it was like at first it was like video, only video, and then I got into some photography and then I do some YouTube and now I'm getting into films and doing commercial work and now AI is taking over my life a little bit too and creating in that realm. I love podcasting, I love live streaming. So really for me it's just like just being able to be creative constantly and doing that every single day and if I can take care of my family, inspire my boys and give glory to God, I'm here for it.
Absolutely love it, man. I've referenced before in previous podcasts, and I'll mention it again that one of my favorite interactions was a interview from inside the actor studios for Dave Chappelle when he
Hmm.
was talking about explaining his journey to his father. And his dad was like, "Do you think that you're really gonna be a successful, comedian?" And he just put it on his father. He said, "It really depends on what you consider success. Because if I can make a teacher's salary doing something that I love, would you not consider that a success?"
Yeah.
And that's exactly where I think that you are, and I think I find myself where we're able to just still earn a living doing something that we
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll be able to say I'm blessed that I make a little more than a teacher's salary, but
Hmm.
but I mean, on a real note, it is every day that I get a chance to wake up and just do what I love. It is a huge, just like that's the win. Like I don't have to get a real job. I get a chance to play with what my wife calls toys. I call business expenses.
Hmm.
But I get a chance to just, enjoy what I do on a daily basis. And that doesn't mean that some days don't feel like work. I woke up this morning just candidly to just like a business situation that I was like, oh no, I got to figure this out. Like this is gonna be an issue. And so like this morning hasn't been like fun, but I know that even going through the tough times allows me to do the fun stuff that I really want to do, and that to me is worth it.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, man. Just the other day, I spent like all night awake, either editing or setting up like a presentation for the next day. And
Hmm.
after I did it, I crashed. And my father gives me a call. And he's like, "Hey, like, where are you?" I was like, "Listen, I was up all night." And he looked at it as if I was complaining, and I was like, "No, no, not at all. Like, if you've ever spent all night like with your favorite toy after Christmas or stuff like that, like that's how I consider an overnight edit for me because I have so much fun doing it. So I don't see the hours that I spend into it as like a negative."
Yeah, no, 100%. Even the days that do are like more stressful. It's kind of like it's you're willing to go through the stress because it's at the end of it, you will have created something that you're proud of, you know? So,
It's funny because I'm full of like little metaphors, so to speak. And one that I had also mentioned was like a banana tree. Like you can grow up as a banana tree, right? And you get hired to make oranges. Like you're naturally a banana tree, but you with some effort you could make oranges. But as soon as it gets tough, you're just gonna be like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm supposed to be making bananas anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
yeah.
you tend to find what you're really supposed to do, and that's what I love about this. Like you mentioned, there's so many different aspects of creation, whether it's like you're doing it for yourself or for a client, like from videography to photos to, like you said, AI. There's so much going on right now. What's actually your favorite bit, or what has your attention right now?
Man, a lot of stuff has my attention, but if I were to I would say like on the day to day right now, it's probably AI, but on the grand scale of everything, it is live streaming. Live
Yeah.
streaming to me, I didn't get the like a bug bite. I got like devoured by the beast that is live streaming right now. I mean, I'm studying Twitch, I'm studying OBS, I'm obviously always learning more about Ecamm. I actually just got it's somewhere. I just got a YOLO box
Nice.
that just came in. And yeah, I'm just so I'm overly excited about the potential of live streaming because it's the first time in my creative journey, I think, that I found a new medium. Like before I ever picked up a camera, I was actually a professional dancer. And then I found a camera and it was like a new medium to sort of express myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like that was insane. And it was like a moment. And like recently, I feel like live streaming is kind of like that next chapter for me, where it was like how I went from dance to video. Going from video to live feels like it's a different medium. There's different tools, there's different gear, there's different software. There's like my brain is creatively thinking in ways it never has thought before. And that to me is a lot of fun. And even though like I have 10 to 15 years of experience in the video space, um, a lot of those skills do move over into live streaming, but live streaming is still also like its own little journey. And I just feel like a kid in a candy store, just like looking around at all the possibilities and all the options. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, so I could try this and I could try this. And oh, what if I did this? And my brain just goes. And when my brain starts firing like that, I know that that's something that truly has me passionate. And so then I just double, triple, quadruple down on it.
Oh, that's so cool. Like I caught the live streaming bug around 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
out of when it comes to live streaming, and I understand that there's so many things, what aspect of it do you think is probably your favorite?
The connection. The connection is absolutely it. Actually, it was funny enough. I probably caught the live streaming bug around the same time you did 4 years ago. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to live stream. I think it was on Friday nights or something like that. I used to live stream, and that's actually how I remember us connecting. Was like you came on one of my live streams like 4 years ago. But back then, I was so overly concerned creatively about like my art has to like it can't just be for me. It has to be like good for the algorithm or whatever. And YouTube has always had a weird relationship with live streams. So about 4 years ago, 2020, 2021, somewhere in that time period, I was live streaming and I did love it, but the views weren't very good. Brands weren't trying to sponsor my channel and they were like hurting me because of it. And I was so overly concerned about metrics that like even though I enjoyed it, I was like, okay, I can't do this because it's not good. And so I stopped doing it even though I really enjoyed it. This time around, I just don't care. Like it's for me. Like live
Mhm.
streaming, like I love it because of the connection that I get to have with people, but it's because I enjoy that connection. And so I do it regardless of brands or monetary things. Like I still shoot client stuff. Like I just decided I'm just gonna have to make my money elsewhere because this is something that I really enjoy. And I want to keep doing regardless. And so yeah, so now I love live streaming. I think I loved it even back then. We probably caught the bug around the same time. I just allowed outside factors to sort of sway my enjoyment. But this time around, I'm saying screw it. It's just what I love. I love doing it, and so I'm gonna do it regardless.
Yo, like I'm the same way. I think the aspect that I recognized that I loved so much was the same thing, the connection, but the live chat. So I
Mm-hmm.
caught the bug as a viewer before I started going live myself because it kind of gave me this nostalgic feeling of like old school chat rooms from the days
Mm-hmm.
of AOL, where you could
Yeah.
like have that instant
Don't date
connection.
us too much, all right? We both got a little
I said
gray popping up in
myself.
the beard. You ain't gotta be like, you know AOL. I don't know
You
AOL.
remember when we used to chisel the words on the stone?
I'm I'm too young for that. What are you talking about? What is AOL? Owl? Ale? Ale? You know I'm dyslexic. Don't be throwing letters at me now. I don't know what you're talking about.
But like I said, I actually fell in love with that aspect. So me, I was creating content, but as a creator, we tend to start like nitpicking our edits and
Yeah.
changing things that nobody's ever going to pay attention to. And once again, I'm not complaining. That's the part that I love about editing. But I recognized in myself that it would take a lot longer to be consistent with my videos online because of the fact that I'm nitpicking every little scene, every frame. And
Yeah.
that's where live stream really took me out of that and just said, you know what, we have to do it now. And you
Hmm.
only get this one chance. It's almost like sports, right? Where
Yeah.
like it's your turn to bat. And now it's either you're gonna like get the hit or you're gonna strike out, but it's happening now. And once I went online, I actually like when I went live online, to better say, I never stopped. I've just been going ever since.
Yeah, no, dude, you have one of the longest running live streams I know of. That I know of somebody personally who's done it. And I think that's awesome. I mean, the fact that you found that you loved it and that you're willing to keep doing it. I mean, I look at you as inspiration. There's definitely been some Tuesdays, because now we do our live stream on Friday. And then we also now been doing them on Tuesday nights as well. And last Tuesday, my son had a tournament, had a track meet, sorry, a track meet. And I was like, oh, well, I can't go live, but it's on Tuesday. But I said I was going to do it. And then, like, I was just like, all right, after the track meet, I'm just going to go live regardless. Even if I can only do an hour, I'm just going to do it because I've committed to doing it and I love doing it. And even if I can only do it for 30 minutes, then at least I got a chance to do it for 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's exactly how I feel. And that's what has allowed me to be consistent because that's something that I'm proud of, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I've been able to do it. But like we were just talking about all these references in baseball, I also recognize that to be consistent, like you just mentioned, they're not all going to be home runs. They're not all going to be
No,
grand slams. And sometimes you have to put
I've learned that.
a bunt and a sacrifice fly to just get it going. And one of the things is that I've been consistent and I have a streak going. So to keep that streak going is kind of like a hitting streak where it's just like not all of them are going to be grand slams. So you just got to roll with the punches.
No, absolutely. That's the one thing I've learned about live streams that's actually a little freeing. I feel like in the world of video, it's very easy to judge it. because you're like, because you don't know how much time went into pre-production, you don't know how much time went into production, and you think that everybody has unlimited time in post to get it right. But with live stream, there's almost this like expectation of like a little blurb here, a little, a little mistake here. And it's super forgiving. And
Yes.
so like I've 100% embraced that like fail fast when it comes to live streaming. Like a few weeks ago we did the onset live. Um, which I know you're familiar with, but basically we took everybody on set with us. We had cameras. We were filming a project, and we literally had multiple cameras there, lighting, the whole nine. It was like a 4-hour stream. A few things. One, we had never done an on-set shoot before. We had never done a 4-hour stream. The goal was 4 hours. It ended up being like 4.5 hours. But we've never done a stream where we tried to go for that long. We also never streamed outside of my office for anything. So, like, three huge new adjustments. And I know I want to do more on-set live stuff, but I was like, I kind of got to get this first one out of the way so we can figure out everything that goes wrong. Like when you're live for 4 hours, how do you eat? How do you go to the bathroom? How do you handle, if you get a phone call that you need to take care of while you're live? How do you keep the audience engaged? Will people actually stick around for 4 hours? Like there was so many things we didn't know. And so kind of like you said, a sacrifice fly, that whole stream, as far as I was concerned, was like, hey, this whole stream might just be a bust, Like it might just be a sacrifice fly. We're just gonna go up there, we're gonna swing the bat as hard as we can, do the best thing we can, but understand that we're probably not gonna do well, but we're gonna learn a crap ton from it. So the next time we come up to bat, we'll be like 100 times better.
I agree, and but that was a success. You did a very good job with that one, and it definitely wasn't a sacrifice.
That's so funny because on my end, it definitely feels like one. I actually have an editor right now who he sent me the version. I just haven't got a chance to see the second version. But we basically tried to take that live stream and cut it down. And so it's allowing me to watch it back. And I'm like, oh, there was so much stuff we could have done better. But again, either way, I don't ever look at anything as like a failure. It's always like a learning
Yep.
experience because like I say fail fast, and that just means like if something feels like I could fail, run towards it as quickly as you can because you learn way more from your failures than you do from your victories. Because,
So
when
true.
things go great, you just like you walk out feeling like, wow, everything went great. Cool. Like even if things didn't, if you feel like you won, you're less likely to look at where the cracks were. But if
Hmm.
you feel like you failed in a way, it almost like forces you to then start analyzing how do I not have these same feelings the next time, which is where I feel like development really comes.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. And I think that I learned that through sports, like playing
Mm-hmm.
sports in,
Same.
in my youth, as like that it's always a learning experience and you have to have something to reference against. And like you
Yeah.
said, if everything goes great and you didn't like come up with a hiccup, so to speak, or a speed bump, then what are you really learning? Because in my experience, the most memorable live streams that I've done were the ones that I've actually messed up. Um,
Yeah.
because like Maya Angelou says, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And
Mm-hmm.
that one, I hit the monster voice on the RCP2 for like 15 minutes while I'm talking about a camera and like trying to not pay attention to the chat so that I can stay on track. And then when I look back at the chat, all I see is like crying emojis and everything because everybody's dying laughing that I just went on a soliloquy for 15 minutes in this like monster voice. It's hilarious. And now they don't
Yeah.
remember what I said about the camera, but everyone definitely remembers that episode of my live stream.
Yeah, dude, that's it. That really is that do how it be sometimes. That's funny. That's
Hmm.
funny because I could totally see myself doing that. Just like tap the button. And I know you don't monitor your audio at all. So
Hmm.
you just be going. So I can
Yep.
imagine you having like being completely oblivious for like
Yeah.
15 minutes.
So
That's funny.
exactly. So you can see like, and what I say is that that's what makes the live stream, because like that's something that even like right now I'm able to reference and put against and say like, look, I've done the sacrifice flies, I've done all the strikeouts and the bunts and everything. So um like I said, you just keep it going and you'll just get another at bat, and that's what I love about live streaming.
Yeah, same here, bro.
Oh man. So now we are getting very close for you to be heading out to NAB.
Yes, sir.
So,
Leave on Saturday.
what are your plans for NAB 2025?
Oh man. So I'll it's kind of twofold. So in the past, I've only ever gone to NAB just like as a creator. And so I have like a creator plan. But like this year, I have like a shopper's plan. Um,
Nice.
and they're very different. So, as a creative, I'm going out there to hang out with all my creative homies, all my friends. Um, Hopefully to meet some of our viewers who watch, you know, Uncensored, our podcast that we do every single Friday, or people who enjoy my content on YouTube. So I'm really excited to do that, to like meet people. Also, I'm really excited to be doing an episode of our podcast live on the floor on Monday. And so it'll be my first time sort of like presenting or doing anything at a booth. Cause normally I don't like to lock myself down to booths, or do any crazy like commitments. But, I'm actually doing two different, deals. I'm doing a podcast for somebody else, and then Jarrell and I are doing our show on Monday. And so I'm really excited about that. And then that same Monday night, I'll be hosting the creator meetup for Amaran, where we're giving out free food and you know, free gear and all that fun stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's mostly what I'm doing as a creator. And then on the shopping side of it, I am so like I told you, I have got devoured by the live stream bug, that there are a few pieces of gear and some services and some stuff I really want to learn on the live stream side of things. I do enjoy live streaming, but I have some visions of I have some big ideas that I want to be able to
Nice.
do in the live streaming space. And I feel like going to NAB is going to help just expedite my learning process throughout the entire thing. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm really, really excited about that. I think that's gonna be killer on the day. And while I'm out there, I'm hoping to learn a lot and just, you know, get a chance to hang out with other people.
Oh well, the reason why I bring it up is because I'm going through FOMO right now. I
Oh,
was supposed to be there, and I was setting everything up, but then I got the bit of bad news that my son Aiden, which is my co-pilot and is with me everywhere I go, is not allowed on the show floor. So it was just
mm,
impossible for me to have him there because of his age. He wouldn't even be admitted in. And
yeah.
me not having someone to take care of him, as he's my co-pilot, I wasn't able to make it. So I'm definitely feeling it because I wanted this to be my first time just so that I could experience it. Like you said, like I was definitely going to be going on the creator side to just hang out and get to see how it was, so that maybe
Hmm.
like next year I have a game plan for it. But next year is going to be the game plan to make sure that I'm there so that I
Yeah.
could experience it. So next year's plan is to make sure that I'm there no matter what.
Yeah, my boys are kind of bummed too. My oldest one definitely wanted to go. And when actually speaking to you, you told me about the age restriction. I was like, it was unfortunate that they couldn't go. But
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully we can get you there soon next year. Next year that should be the year. Love to actually like meet you in person, which is like a weird thing to think because
I know, right?
I technically haven't met you in person, but I feel like I know you like I know anybody else. So it's weird, but yeah, it'd be nice to actually meet you in person.
Well, that's another thing about the live streaming aspect that I love because that's exactly how I felt with so many people. And
Hmm.
I'm going to reference this story from Doc and Diana Gladney that, meeting during the lockdowns and when everybody had to be on Zoom and get online, that we had this rapport, right? And we would talk so often online that when they actually met in person for the first time, they didn't even like greet themselves as if it was the first time. They literally
Yeah.
just sat down at a table, opened up computers, and started working and just had a conversation the first time that they had ever met because the relationship had already been solidified so much that it wasn't like they were missing each other. It was just like, hey, what's up? Like, it's Tuesday. So it's
Yeah.
incredible, but that's exactly how I feel with a lot of people.
No, I 100% feel the same way. That's the thing I do love about the internet. It allows you to connect with people from all over, and you never know who's watching, and also the connection that's even happening sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, and it's great. I love it. It's definitely like one of the best things. I mean, I think you said it, but it's like videos build audiences, but live streams build communities.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that I 100% like held on to and I live by now. And I'm just like a community is somebody you can actually talk to. An
Yes.
audience is always like off a stage, or there's always a line, there's always a fence, like there's always a little bit of separation. But with a community, you're in the same room together, and those are people that you really get a chance to really connect with. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down for it.
And I have to give it to you, right? Hands down, like you have an amazing community with the Creative Fam and the Creative Fam Academy. Like, what you're building there. Oh, I'm getting alarms turning on over here. So,
Oh, oh no, you're good.
but yeah, that the community that you've built, like in the Creative Fam, what you've done with Uncensored and everything really epitomizes and it shows you what can be done in this, community. And the way that I see it is you're a great example of what can be done, right? Like when I remember seeing channels like, Mr. McQAnon, so to speak, Mr. Peter McKinnon.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Mr. Peter McKinnon, that like people would see that and some people would take it, look at it and be like, oh, he's already doing it. So why would I do it? Right. Like he's already got the big camera channel. So why would I do it? And I always looked at it completely different. I'm like, he's showing you that there's a viable market, right? He's
Yeah.
showing you that there's actual room for expansion in this space. And that's what I saw, as a creator, especially coming in as like YouTube 2.0, because that's what I consider myself. I'm not the originators of
Yeah.
like the creators. I'm like the new wave, so to speak, where I saw what people are doing on YouTube and then trying to like reverse engineer and be like, how do they have the time to do this? And then I'll be like, wait, they're getting paid for this? Scratching my head, like, how is that happening? Tell me more. So,
Yeah.
um, in that same sense, what sparked your curiosity with social medias and things like that?
Are you still using the same old black boring mic cover? It's time for an upgrade. Introducing Doc Pops, the microphone covers that don't just improve your sound, they make a statement. Designed for podcasters, streamers, musicians, and content creators, Doc Pops reduces plosives, cuts down on background noises, and protects your microphone from dust and moisture, all while looking amazing on camera. With a variety of colors to match your style, your microphone will finally stand out as much as your content. Perfect for top mics like the Shure SM7B, MV7, Rode Pod mic, and many more. So make your mic pop with Doc Pops. Better sound, better look, bigger impact. Doc Pops, where sound meets style. Is that Velvet?
I think it's tough. I've been doing this for a while. Originally, it felt like freedom. I watched a lot of Peter McKinnon at the beginning. I watched a lot of Casey Neistat. I was one of those people that watched every single vlog every single day. Like
You
if he
see,
was late, I knew it. I
you
knew
see,
it.
that's exactly my point. Like, I didn't get in it with Casey. I was post Casey, so to speak. So continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I got in with Casey within his first year of doing the vlogs. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. You just get a chance to make videos, tell the stories that you want to tell, and just put them out there. And I wasn't thinking about money or any of those things at the time. It was just like, oh, this is just a creative outlet for me. Also, I was in video production at the time, but I was very, very early, very, very green. And I was constantly looking to make videos, but I didn't have anybody to like make videos for. And so YouTube kind of was like a place where you can make a video and put it on there, and maybe somebody will watch it, maybe a few people will watch it. And you, as a creator, I believe the best way to get better is to like plan it, create it, share it, receive the feedback, and then go apply that onto your next, thing that you create. And with clients, there's a extra level of trick somebody into making like allowing me to do work for them and then go through the process. But YouTube eliminated the client part of it, and it was like, hey, if you want to make it, just go make it. And so I got on YouTube primarily just to like practice. I was like shooting drone content. I was like just going random places, flying. I would be able to like make like a little family trip video and put it on YouTube, and then get people to give me feedback, that kind of thing. But then around the holidays when the original DJI Mavic came out, like the first one,
Yeah.
I made a review but for filmmakers, because I felt like at the time there was a lot of drone people, but most of them weren't filmmakers. They just were drone enthusiasts. And so I made a review and I put it up, and I didn't think anything of it. And then it was like Thanksgiving, and I like looked at my phone and it was like 30,000 views. And I was like, holy crap. And this is a lot of feedback. A lot of people telling me how to do things better, how to fix my audio, how to fly better. Like, I mean, obviously it's the internet, so everybody's got an opinion. But it was so much, it was like so overwhelming that I was able to create something and put it out there and then get that instant feedback and to be able to get better, that I fell into it and I fell in love with it. And I mean, if you go back and watch my old videos, you'll see when I got better at lighting because it was enough comments that, why are you using a ring light? And I was like, I don't know, that's all I can afford. But they could see it in my eyes. And so I was like, okay, no more ring light. Let's go find something else. And so I found a better solution. Or there's like a season where my audio is terrible. And so, the thing I love is that like I'm constantly getting better, but if I don't actually put it out there, I never get better. And that's another one of the things I love about live streaming is like in live streaming, you get that, but in real time. Like if your audio is not working, you're gonna find out in real time.
Yes.
Or if your mix is off, you're gonna find out in real time. And so I love just using social media as a place for, me to get better. But then at the same time, I also learned that you can serve others and help others get better. And that's ultimately what like spawned my desire to do, the Creative Film Academy and everything that I'm doing with that, is because like I didn't go to film school. I couldn't afford it. I was not going to go into a bunch of debt to be able to do it. So it was like, okay, cool. If I can't afford it and I'm having to learn all these things the hard way, maybe I can make it easier for the next generation. Because like I said, I love what I do every single day. And so let me help somebody else get that. And so those are probably the two main reasons why I got into social media.
That's so cool, man. For me, a bit it was like the community aspect as well, because I didn't get to go to film college, so to speak, but I was able to spend like all of my youth in school in the creative side, because I was the guy who did the morning announcements, and then I was in the video club or the video yearbook. So I
Yeah.
was always the person doing the camera work, working in studio, and a couple of them were in magnet programs. So I was able to do all of those things. And when I wasn't able to pursue it outside of school, was where I spent like years just kind of like being interesting at parties, but not really being able to put any of that information to work, because I would even watch TV different. Right.
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
I'm watching stuff and I'll be like, go, because this happened. People are like, how do you know that? I'm like, it was in the intro. Like, they broke down the whole thing. If you read the sign, you know the time, place, and location, which is usually the three things that you need to establish in your first shot. And they're like, you're establishing things in your first shot. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, I'm on a completely like having a conversation with myself. And on this space, I was able to find people who spoke more my language, so to speak, when it came to just even watching television. That's what I love.
Yeah, I wish that I'm very jealous of you in that you got a chance to find this passion so early. Like I said, I never picked up a camera until after I graduated high school. It's a regret. I can't really say it was a regret because I didn't know I was going to enjoy it. I never tried it. But I do wish I would have like tried it before it so like quick context. Graduated in '09. Probably picked up a camera sometime shortly after that. And then had my son in 2012. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So like two-ish years. And so I only really got 2 years to like just kind of do this like for fun. Before it was like when we found out we were gonna have our son, I remember having like a very serious conversation with myself where it was like, this is either going to be my career path or it's got to be done as a hobby because it's just too expensive to be just a hobby. And like the idea of like doing it on the side for social media or getting paid by YouTube or getting paid by Instagram or TikTok didn't even exist back then. Like all these options weren't on the table. So it was like either we're going to go out there and hustle and find clients or we're done because this is not like this is too expensive and we can't just kind of play around with this. And I'm so glad that I made the decision to like take it seriously. But I do wish that I would have at least found it like maybe in my junior year in high school. So I could have had like 2 to 4 years of just like having fun and experimenting without the pressure of this thing has to pay my bills, you know?
Yeah, like it
But
has to work.
yeah, but I will say I do work really well under pressure. So maybe if there was no pressure, I maybe wouldn't be as successful. I don't know.
Well, you see, that's the whole thing, because maybe you came into it more with a business mindset, right? Which
Hmm.
allowed you to be successful. And then me was more of a creative outlet where it was like rekindling a passion.
Yeah.
Because the way that it happened for me was I actually wanted to get better video and photography of what I was doing with my iPhone repairs. And at the moment, I was only using the iPhone cameras to record what I was doing. So then I was like, okay, I know better. So let me step this up to get higher quality video to kind of advertise. And
Yeah.
that's what then kind of like the Pandora's box was opened with me, social media, and the whole nine.
Yeah. Once you go do your first like search, like how to, like for me recently, it's been like, um, how to add overlays on my live stream. And then you see just like one little tutorial, but in that tutorial, they show you like, but you could do this, you could do that. As a creative, your brain goes, there's options, and then you're screwed. Now you're going down the rabbit hole. So
That's so funny. Josh Yo from Make Art Now channel.
oh yeah, he's a good friend.
Okay, that's cool. You see, that's that one degree of separation, because he was actually doing a live stream years ago. And now that I think about it, yeah, it could have been like 4 years ago when all of this was getting started. And he basically made a challenge to create a 30-second video clip about like anything that you wanted, but the purpose was to learn how, or to try to teach as many people through his video the creation of like beginning, middle, and ending of a story with limitations of a parameter. And that gave me that creative spark to say, you know what, like you were saying, like I was doing phone repairs and I needed to find a way to make it work for both sides, for both my phone and like my creative, like outlet. And what I did was I created a commercial for my business. Like I created a
Okay.
commercial because I said, you know what, I could two birds, one stone, where I can make the commercial that I can use for social media, but then also submit it to the challenge. And it's not like I won anything on the challenge, but I did get Josh Yo to check my video on my live stream, give me the thumbs up, and basically give me like an A+ grading, saying like, you know what, you nailed it. You did, like, you checked off all the markers on it, and like, good job. And for me at that time, I was like, yo, John, like, and this is the whole thing. I could have done better. I kind of mailed it in because it was last minute. And that's what really gave me the spark of saying, like, you know what? I can do it right, even when I do it half-assed. What happens if I whole ass it? You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah.
happens if I put all my effort into it and now we're here?
Dude, I will say that is the one thing I learned. I learned this like 3 years ago when I went to this conference. It's called what is it called? Vid Summit. It's called Vid
Okay.
Summit. And they teach you like, how to make better YouTube videos and thumbnails. It's basically like a giant conference that teaches you how to be a better YouTube creator. And the one thing I learned at that conference, the first year I went to it, was just how much work other creators are doing that you don't realize. And one of the examples they gave was Mr. Beast was there and he was teaching like how he makes his videos. Now, all this information now is public knowledge, but back then this wasn't. This is all like super secretive, right? And so one of the things he showed was he had a video that he was working on, and he had 5 thumbnails with 5 variations of each thumbnail before the video came out. And this meant
So
20,
25.
25
Wow.
thumbnails. And he had them on a sheet. And what he would do was he would send the sheet out to like a few friends, and they would vote on which thumbnail type they enjoyed, they liked the most. And then of that type, they would then go down and choose the variation that they liked the most. And he said he would send this out to like, he had like 25 people before every video he would send it out. And it's like the amount of work that's just going into the thumbnail for him, it blew my mind, and it made me go, how much of my work have I been doing where I haven't been giving it my all? And what would happen if I did? Now, I understand that we have limited time, limited resources, and limited funds. However, with the time, with the resources, and with the funds that you have, what is the best version of the thing that you can make? And when you think you've gone all in, maybe just take a beat and ask yourself, is there anything else I could do to make this a little bit better? And I learned that like creators on the big scales, I learned that movies on big productions and television shows, like this is what they do. They go that extra mile. And you could go 80%, and probably most people would be like, oh, that's really great. That's fantastic. But like, what if you allowed yourself to really go all in, and how much more proud of your work would you be if you did? And so I even know like with my live streams, there are things that I still want to make better. And that's the nice thing, is that I can do that on the next stream. I can aim for that on the next stream. Sometimes the goal of the stream, just go live. Sometimes the goal of the stream, have no technical glitches, right? And then sometimes the goal of the stream is have a really engaged conversation with the audience, whatever it might be, but just give everything you have to what you're making. And I have found that like I just get so much joy from doing that.
I do too, man. But that's where I can fall down that rabbit hole of being, like frame by frame and checking every single like shot and like hyper fixating on that, which is why I love live streaming because, like you said, you can iterate week in and week out, but it still allowed me at least to be consistent in creating something every week because sometimes like I hyper fixate on an edit and I take longer than what I should.
Oh, you gotta give yourself a deadline. You gotta have a timeline. That's what I
That's a
said. It's
new
a
thing
limited
for me.
resource. With the limited time, limited funds, and limited like resources, you gotta have a limitation. If you don't have those limitations, then yeah, you'll be stuck in production hell forever. But
Hmm.
if you actually can like limit the money, like you say, oh, I'm not spending any money. Great. Limit the gear okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna shoot the whole video inside of Ecamm just so it's a little bit easier for me. And then I want to have the edit done by Thursday, right? You give yourself those three limitations, then go make the best thing you can possibly make within those times. That's when I found that you're the most successful.
That's good to know because, like I'd mentioned, for me, this is more a creative outlet, right? So
Yeah.
that's where I kind of gave it my all in the nitpickiness instead of just saying like a client, like I need to have this done by a deadline. But it's a good way of looking at it of like giving yourself a deadline. And I think that I've been trying to implement that with all the projects that I have. And like my motto for the year was no excuses, just results. And it's
Yeah, no,
just,
that's it. Just
yeah,
get it out because the truth is, it's like, I mean, for me, selfishly, it also like giving myself a deadline also lets me know that, like, the hard part about the deadline is you always can keep tweaking it and making it better, right?
yep.
So you got to give yourself what is a pro to not tweaking forever and getting it out. Well, the pro is you get a chance to start getting feedback on the work that you can then implement on the next project. If you take one project and you spend a whole year getting it out, it might be really good, but you're not going to get feedback until that year. Versus if you make one project a month, your 12th project is going to be amazing because you're going to have gone through the process now 12 times to be able to, and then gotten feedback every single time. So the whole benefit of like having a deadline and like posting it, actually sharing it with people is you go, oh, awesome. This is when I get a chance to get feedback that then I can take and then go use on the next project. And the next project's going to be even better than this one anyway. So like I can move on from this one. I can get the feedback on this one because the next one I'm about to do, that's going to be a banger.
And it's so true because there's no such thing as perfect, right?
No.
So how can we try to strive for something of perfection the first time that we ever do it when we have
Yeah,
no
even if you've
experience
done
with
it
it?
a million times, like LeBron still misses, you know, like
Yo,
it happens.
yeah, yeah, I thought it would be Jarrell that brought in the LeBron commentation.
Look, I'm not as big of a LeBron fan as Jarrell. He's
Mhm.
obviously obsessive.
We know that.
Uh, but I mean, I enjoy watching him play. He's pretty good.
Yeah. But in the same way, like, yeah, we learn from our mistakes and we could only get better through repetition. And that's, you're hearing it here first because I'm already making a simple shirt, to put up that's gonna say volume negates luck.
Mm, I like
And
that.
that's it. And it's just because, the more that you put out there, the less lucky you're going to be. You're going to know your mistakes because when you practice something, anything whatsoever, like the 10,000 hour rule to master anything, right? You
Yeah.
need to put in the work. And I've always referenced it to like working out, right?
Yeah.
You can read all the fitness books. You can have all the information on the correct form and to maximize your workout, but you're not gonna get fit unless you hit the gym.
Right. You actually
Like
got to go do the thing.
exactly. You have to still go do it for it to be effective, right? And
And you got to do it consistently. It's not like read a bunch of books, go do it once, and then go back and read a bunch of books. It's like, nah, at a certain
yeah,
point, I mean, you can keep reading the books while you're doing it, but you got to keep doing it
yep,
consistently. and then
And
you'll
that's
see
why I
success.
said the volume negates luck, because once you recognize that, then it's just like, it's almost like you saying like, hey, you know what? I read all the books. I went and worked out one time. I didn't see any results. Why am I not
Yeah.
getting all the praise? Like, because it's that consistency and doing it over and over again.
No, yeah, 100%. That's
All right,
great.
but we're getting close to the hour. So now I have to actually do the interview-ish type questions, which
Oh, yeah, let's run it.
this is where the podcast becomes a podcast.
Oh,
So
okay.
what, as a child, right? Like, what sparked your curiosity into creation, period?
Um, I think naturally it was easier for me because I'm dyslexic and reading and writing are not my strong suits. But expressing myself through drawing, like also like I created a lot of stuff out of just like necessity. Like, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but like when I was a kid, I could not afford Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So, but a pack of 100 index cards was like 99 cents at the store, and a box of crayons was like another 99 cents. So, like, I would go home and make my own Pokemon cards and draw them myself because I couldn't
That's
actually
so
afford to
cool.
buy them. And so, like, a lot of times creating was a necessity. Like, I created the thing that I needed. Like, even from the moment when I picked up my first camera, my dance crew, we needed exposure. We needed to like market ourselves and put ourselves out there. But nobody was, no one was just coming around like, hey, we're looking for a dance crew. We're gonna just hire people. So it was like, oh, I need to make a video because if I make a video, I can put it on YouTube. And if I put it on YouTube, then I could show people what we can do. And maybe they'll, want to hire us to go and perform. And so for me, I think a lot of creativity just came from a lack of being really like book smart and good in school. But also, I always looked at, I wanted something that I couldn't have. And so it was always easier to create it than it would be for me to financially just go and buy it.
Dude, that couldn't have been said any better, because I think I experienced something very similar. I mentioned before, I was a kid, I would make bows and arrows, like
Hmm.
out of the sticks and twigs in the backyard, because I was enamored with Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, like
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
back
yeah.
in 92. So
Man in
it's
tights.
like,
Yeah.
no, that was the other one. That was the Charlie Sheen one.
Oh, is that one? Oh, my
I
bad.
was actually talking about the original one, but with
I'm
Morgan
not as
Freeman.
old as you, man. Stop trying to
I
make it.
know
Stop
that.
trying to put me there with you. I'm not. We're not the
I'm
same.
sharing my story, all right?
You can't be
But yeah,
dropping
so
references, expecting me. I don't know what these are. I'm only 22 years old. What you talking about?
I love it. But now, which leads me to the next question, right? In your youths, in the time as a child, what was your favorite toy or maybe piece of tech, right? Like that was like the favorite thing that you had as a child.
Ooh. Um, I remember when we bought our first computer. That was big. Um, But when it comes to toys, I was always a huge wrestling fan. So I
Nice.
had all the wrestling action figures. But my mom didn't know the difference between WWF at the time and WCW. So I asked for like, The Rock and Stone Cold, and she came back with like Sting and Ric Flair and like all these WCW wrestlers. And I was like, oh, this is cool, but this is not who I wanted. But I mean, we were poor, so beggars can't be choosers. So I played with them like they were The Rock and anybody else.
That's cool, man. All right, man. And then the last question that I always ask everyone, because the name of the show is CITYSGAW, channels that I think you should go and watch. My last question to you would be, what is your CITYSGAW? Who has your attention right now as a creator that you would want all of us to go and watch?
Man, that's funny. I've been watching a lot of live streamers, so I don't know if I mean, I'm watching a lot of I always study what the big guys do. right? So like when I was watching YouTube or really trying to take YouTube seriously, I studied the big channels like the Mr. Beasts and because like what they do, maybe I can't do at that scale, but it allows me to see like where is the ceiling currently and what are the possibilities, and then sort of work my way into what works for me. That's always been sort of my mindset. Like even when it comes to like filmmaking, I study Hollywood films because that's the standard. And then I just figure out how to adopt those things for me. So currently, because I'm so deep in the live stream space, I've been watching a lot of T-Pain, actually. He's a phenomenal streamer, not only like a great musician, but he's a phenomenal streamer. Um, I also been watching a lot of Kai Cenat recently in the streaming space. And then what I love to do every now and again is just go on Twitch, go underneath the IRL or go underneath just chatting, and then literally just keep swiping through and just like spending like 10-ish minutes in these different streams and just sort of like seeing what does that community look like and what does that community feel like. So those are some of the main channels I think I'm currently watching. Um, I guess in the creator space, um, obviously the Shillin' Chief, Cam Mackey, anytime he drops a video, I'm gonna probably click in and I'm gonna watch that. I know you had him on your show, Tom. Tom Buck he probably has made me spend more money than anybody else. Like he's the most influential person when it comes to like money spent. Um,
You're not the
I
only
love
one.
him and I hate him at the same time. I love him. My wallet hates him.
Hey,
My
Buck
CPA
is in
hates
his
him.
name.
Yeah, dude, and he will make you spend all of yours. So those are probably the ones that I'm trying to think that I like actively watch. And then as you can see over my shoulder right now, I love just putting on lo-fi music and just letting that ride all day. So that's probably what I'm doing the most right now. But I'm realistically in a season of create more than I consume. So I'm not really trying to consume too much as when I do consume content, I'm normally like either trying to learn how to do something or I'm watching and studying and like trying to like find something unique, something cool that, that somebody might be doing. Like in the live stream space, I love T-Pain's stuff because he knows how to really engage his audience. He keeps it fun, it's
Yeah.
lighthearted. Like with Uncensored, we opened the show up with that rap, and I got the idea to do a rap because T-Pain does a rap when he opens up his show every now and again. Um, so it was just like, oh, you can have fun with this. You can be creative. You can have the lights change. You can play music. Like it's a different vibe altogether. And so I'm always just like studying to see how other people are leveling up the vibe when they're live streaming or creating content.
Awesome, man. Well, I think we're all like that. When it comes to the YouTube space, we look at television and everything that we consume through our eyes just a little bit different because not only are we like enjoying the visuals, but we're always trying to reverse engineer it. Like we're like, how did they do that? Like,
Yeah.
so like me on the Super Bowl halftime show, the whole thing that I spent more time on was trying to see if I can see another camera or like shadows of the camera people, like the camera
Oh
like
yeah.
crew. And I'm like, where are they? Are they shooting all of these with telephoto? Like this looks amazing. So that's just where my
No,
mind goes to.
absolutely. I dissected that thing like 3 times. I actually made a video about it. YouTube shut it down. Did not like it going out, but we posted it inside the Creative Film Academy. But yeah, man, I am the exact same way. I start watching stuff. It's kind of like when a movie makes me forget what they're shooting it on, and I'm only caught up in the story. That's when I know I'm watching a really good story because I'm very easily distracted. Like if you use a dolly shot and you hold it for too long, immediately I'm like, "Oh, you want me to feel something right now?" Okay. So now I'm not even really feeling the thing. I can tell by how you're shooting it. Or I was watching a movie the other day where it was like steady cam for like the whole thing, and then like out of nowhere for like 4 shots, literally only 4 shots, they went handheld and it was just like shaky, 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 shaky. And I was like, why would you make that decision right now? I was like, I didn't even like just stay steady, Kim. Like, I understand you probably wanted to like increase, the feeling or the emotion of terror, but I was like, but you haven't done that the whole movie. Like, that was such a weird. So now I'm not paying attention anymore. Now I'm just like breaking down the movie. Um, but no, I absolutely. So I totally get that. Yeah. And don't watch a movie with me. Like, I
Well,
feel bad for my wife. Don't watch a
you
movie with me
see, I
because
I actually
I'm gonna
think
ruin it for
different.
everybody.
I think we could watch movies together because we're the ones who ruin it for everyone else. We'd just be bouncing ideas at each other, like, "How do you think they did that?" Like, 'cause
Dude,
that's how
I'm
I
so
watch it.
bad. I'm so bad. I'll be like, "Oh, they're establishing. How long is this? There's still another hour left. Oh yeah, he gonna die because they're look. The time is saying that there's too much time left, and they cannot be reconciling right now because there's still another hour left. So if there's an hour left and they're reconciling, something bad about to
It's
happen.
a wrap for this dude.
Yeah,
So
like
funny.
homie, like the second somebody says, "Dude, I couldn't imagine living my life without you," you killed him. You killed him.
Yeah.
Like you instantly. Like, I'm like, oh, he's dead.
You know what?
He's
And
dead.
that's the funny thing because like my ex used to hate when I would mouth the words to the next line because I already knew what was coming. Like you could, and then she'd be like, "How do you know that they were gonna say that?" I'm like, "What other words can you fit in that context?" I'm like, it's like you only give people so many options, and when you limit those, I notice those things in movies. So that's why
Bro,
I said like I think we could hang
watch
out.
your watch a romantic comedy with me. I'ma
Oh,
destroy the movie
it's a
because they're
wrap.
all the same. It's a wrap, son. I
It's
know what's coming next. I know what's coming next almost every single
Yo,
time.
this could be a whole nother podcast, but I have to thank you for making the time. This was just a lot of fun. And where can people find you?
Oh man, so you can find me on YouTube. My channel is Brandon Washington, and then on all the socials, including YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, at BWash Media. That is where I am everywhere. And then if you do enjoy live streams, you should definitely come hang out with us at the Uncensored show that we film every single Friday. It's a blast. If you love filmmaking, you love creativity, it's a good time.
Awesome. And you'll find me there just about every single week hanging out in the chat. So,
Show enough.
bro, thank you so much for once again making the time, hanging out. This was a lot of fun. And this is it for this episode of CITYSGAW, channels that I think you should go and watch. All of Brandon's information will be down in the description below. And until next time, talk to you.
Peace.